What is the soul? This question has fascinated and mystified humankind for thousands of years. From philosophers to scientists, artists to mystics, we've all wondered if there is something beyond the physical that defines who we are. Is there a part of us that exists independently of the body, a spark of divinity, a core essence that lives on after death? Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the soul, exploring theories from ancient philosophy to modern science. And we'll ask the ultimate question: if the soul exists, where could it possibly reside? Ancient roots of the concept of the soul. To understand the notion of the soul, we must first look at its ancient origins. For thousands of years, different cultures and civilizations have held unique perspectives on the soul. In ancient Egypt, the concept of the soul, or K, was central to their belief system. The Egyptians believed the soul continued its journey after death, guided through the afterlife. Similarly, in ancient Greece, philosophers like Plato viewed the soul as an eternal essence, one that existed before birth and would live on after the body's demise. In Hinduism, the soul, or Atman, is seen as part of a greater whole connected to the universal spirit or Brahman. The journey of the soul through multiple lives, rebirths, and eventually liberation illustrates a cycle that transcends the limitations of the physical body. Meanwhile, in the Christian tradition, the soul is immortal and judged after death, destined for heaven, purgatory, or hell, depending on the person's life choices. So, even thousands of years ago, the soul was not just an abstract idea. It was a vital component of daily life, guiding moral decisions, inspiring rituals, and offering comfort in the face of mortality. But as we'll see, the question of the soul's existence goes deeper than simple belief or tradition. Is the soul consciousness? One of the most compelling theories about the soul is that it is, in fact, our consciousness. This view suggests that our awareness, emotions, dreams, and memories are not just functions of the brain, but are instead manifestations of the soul. Here, consciousness is not something that arises from the brain's physical processes. Rather, it is something that precedes and exists beyond them. Consider the famous analogy of the body as a radio. According to this theory, our brain is like a receiver, picking up the signal of consciousness that originates outside of it. In this model, the soul is not produced by the brain, but is something the brain channels, much like how a radio plays music that originates from a distant station. Many near-death experiences (NDEs) seem to support this idea. People who've had NOWs often report sensations of floating above their bodies, traveling through tunnels, or even meeting deceased relatives. Some individuals even describe observing their surroundings in incredible detail, despite their brains being inactive. Could these experiences indicate that consciousness, and by extension, the soul, can exist independently of the body? While skeptics argue that NDs are simply the result of the brain's response to trauma, the consistency and vividness of these accounts leave room for doubt. Could it be that the soul is a form of consciousness that continues beyond the physical realm, hidden yet omnipresent? The soul in modern philosophy and science, as our understanding of the brain has grown, many scientists argue that what we consider the soul is merely a byproduct of neural processes. The idea is that consciousness, emotions, and even our sense of self are results of brain activity. According to this materialist view, the soul does not exist. What we call the soul is simply an illusion created by the complexity of the brain's functioning. However, this view is challenged by philosophers who argue that materialism cannot fully explain consciousness. Thomas Nagel, for example, famously asked, "What is it like to be a bat?" His question was not about the physical experience of being a bat, but about the subjective, inner experience of consciousness. Despite advanced knowledge of brain science, we still cannot fully explain how or why consciousness exists. Enter quantum theory. Some scientists and philosophers suggest that consciousness, and potentially the soul, might have its roots in the quantum realm. This hypothesis suggests that the soul could exist as quantum information, woven into the very fabric of the universe. When we die, this quantum information may disperse, but it might not cease to exist. It could be that our consciousness, our soul, is part of a vast web of interconnected energy and information, a cosmic tapestry. Could it be hidden somewhere within the body, waiting to be discovered by science, or does it exist beyond physical dimensions? Some believe the soul resides in the heart. Ancient cultures often viewed the heart as the seat of emotions and the core of our being. This belief has even found support in recent discoveries about the heart-brain connection, a network of neurons in the heart that communicates with the brain, potentially influencing emotions and behavior. Yet others suggest that the soul could be found in the pineal gland, a tiny pine cone-shaped gland located deep within the brain. French philosopher René Descartes considered it the seat of the soul, as it is the only part of the brain not divided into two hemispheres, symbolizing unity. However, modern science offers little evidence that any specific organ could house the soul. If the soul exists, it might not have a physical location at all. Instead, it could inhabit a realm beyond space and time as we know them. An energetic theory of the soul. Could it be that the soul exists as an energetic field, one that is connected to our body but not confined by it? Some metaphysical theories suggest that every human being has an aura, an electromagnetic field that extends beyond the physical body. This aura, or energy body, could be seen as a manifestation of the soul, a subtle, invisible layer of our being. According to this theory, the soul is not bound by the physical limitations of flesh and blood, but instead radiates outward, touching the world around us. Healers and intuitives often claim to see or feel this energy, describing it as a glow or vibration. If this is true, then the soul could be an energetic field that transcends our physical form, influencing others and interacting with the environment. This idea resonates with many ancient beliefs that considered the soul to be an intrinsic part of nature, interconnected with all living things. In this view, the soul is not separate from the world, but an active participant in the web of existence. It might move through us like a river through a landscape, ever flowing, changing shape yet remaining fundamentally the same. Reincarnation. The soul's journey beyond one life. Another theory that supports the idea of the soul's existence is reincarnation, the belief that the soul lives multiple lives, learning and evolving over time. In this perspective, death is not an end, but a transition, a shedding of one identity for the birth of another. Reincarnation suggests that the soul retains its core essence, even as it inhabits different bodies. Many people who believe in reincarnation report having memories of past lives, feelings of déjà vu, or unexplained phobias and interests. Some studies have documented children who, without any prior knowledge, recall specific details of places, people, and events from another life. Could these memories be imprints of the soul's journey across time and space? If reincarnation is real, it would imply that the soul is not bound to any one body, but moves from one existence to the next, accumulating experiences and wisdom. The soul, in this view, is like a traveler on an endless journey, exploring the vast landscape of existence. The unanswered question: is the soul real? Despite these intriguing theories, we must confront the possibility that the soul might simply be a comforting illusion. The concept of a soul gives life a sense of purpose, an assurance that we are more than our bodies, and that there is something lasting within us. The idea of a soul might arise from our own fears, our desire for permanence, and our struggle to accept mortality. Yet, even if the soul is an illusion, it is a powerful one. It inspires art, poetry, and acts of kindness. It drives us to seek wisdom, to create, to connect with others, and to ask questions that have no easy answers. The soul may be an enigma, but it is one that shapes how we live, love, and dream. A mystery worth exploring. So, does the soul exist? And if it does, where is it? Perhaps we will never fully answer these questions, but in searching for the soul, we discover something essential about ourselves. The journey to understand the soul pushes us to confront our own inner worlds, our fears, hopes, and the mysteries that make us human. In the end, the soul may be more than a part of us, it might be the journey itself. And perhaps the beauty of the soul lies not in its destination, but in its endless, unanswerable mystery.